Om Shanti. Let's begin with Baba's remembrance. As I withdraw my attention from this physical world and turn it within, I sit in the essence of who I am. I am a being of light, a being of stability, a being of peace, a being of clarity, I see myself a star of light, the soul, that has stability and clarity. I know who I am. I'm not seeking to impress. Not yearning to be recognized. I have clarity about myself. I know my past, present, and future. I was a deity. I am a godly child, going to be a deity again. My future is certain, and my present is the best. Nothing could ever be better than belonging to Shilpa himself. I have absolute clarity about what I need to do. My purpose. My purpose is to create the best version of myself. To create my deity sanskars. My purpose is to transform the world through self-transformation. I have absolute clarity about the drama that's going on. Every scene of the drama is designed to make me move forward. This drama is created to benefit me. I am the best and most important actor of the drama. All doubts and fears are melting away. I have complete faith in myself, in my Baba, in my destiny. I have complete faith in the benevolence of every scene of drama. Just spend a few moments in the state of stability and clarity. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So, the other day I was talking about not being powerful but being empowered, and the soul needs powers to be empowered, and Shiv Baba is called the Sarva Shaktivan, the Almighty, who gives all powers. And as much as we have yoga with this Sarva Shaktiman, as much as we sit in this link of love and this remembrance of Shiv Baba, who is Sarva Shaktivan, you also start gaining powers. Now, what are the powers that emerge through this Raj Yoga, through this meditation or this connection with the Sarva Shaktivan Paramatma Shiv? We will understand those powers in detail today. So, let's see the picture of the powers. So, we talk about 8 powers. These are the 8 powers, and you see the topic is attainment of powers through Raj Yoga. So these powers are there in the soul, but just like when we took birth after birth after birth, our virtues got merged. They were there, but they got depleted. Similarly, these powers also are there in the soul. These are spiritual powers, but having taken many births, these powers reduce, and mostly then we have those powers, but we are not using them, or we are using them incorrectly. So we are using them in the wrong place, because our buddhi, which decides what to do, how much to do, that buddhi is not working properly. So sometimes we have the power, but because the buddhi is under the influence of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, so we don't use the right power at the right time. That also happens. But you see, in the middle there is this yogi, and this is the picture of Raj Yoga, and this yogi is holding in his awareness Shiv Baba, and absolute, singular link with Shiv Baba. So there is no distraction, completely concentrated remembrance of Shiv Baba, and one Shiv Baba and none other. So you are remembering the Almighty, the ocean of virtues, the ocean of powers, and then the company colors you, and whatever is Shiv Baba's quality starts becoming yours. You start drawing those powers into yourself. And then there are 8 powers that emerge. Now we will understand the 8 powers through Raj Yoga. Now you have to understand first that these powers will not develop by understanding them. These powers will develop through Raj Yoga. But nevertheless, we will understand, just like we understood that when we have yoga with Shiv Baba, we will become pure, peaceful, loveful. Here we will understand these powers will also emerge when we have yoga with Baba. So first power, so the power to withdraw, okay, can you see it? So there is a turtle, and it is written power to withdraw. Now, what is the quality of the turtle? The turtle can go inside at will, whenever it wants to, it can just go within. Okay. Now, when we come to Shiv Baba, we understand that I, the soul, experience everything of the world through my man and buddhi. Okay, I experience something not because it is there. I experience something because I focus my attention on it and I think about it. Correct? If you don't focus your attention on something and you don't think about something, then it doesn't exist for you. And then we also understood that attention is like a muscle. So just like you have these hand muscles, and if you don't exercise them, you think they can only stretch outwards, not inwards. And then they start aching when you try to do that. Similarly, for many births, for 63 births, 21 births, copper age, 42 births, iron age, what we did was we just put our attention outside. We used our attention muscle to just experience that which is there in the physical world, in the outer world. We never were taught to withdraw our attention and go inside and experience the soul that you are. So we only knew how to perceive and experience that which is physical and outside. But Shiv Baba comes and tells us that you are a soul and you have this power of withdrawing your attention from outside, going within, not just within, but taking your attention to Shiv Baba also, who lives in the soul world. And you can take your attention to your past also, go to your deity world, experience that also. So this power to withdraw your attention from the physical world around you and take it within. And what is there within? In the within, there is the experience of stability, peace, there is the experience of being with Baba, there is the remembrance that you are a deity soul and that your future is very certain and deity-like. So when you go and experience these things, then you are removed from the bitter experience of the external world. But you have to use this power to withdraw. Now when Shiv Baba comes, he teaches us knowledge, and when we practice, when you sit in yoga, what are you doing? You are using your power to withdraw. Correct? You are using your power to withdraw your attention from outside and go within and connect with Shiv Baba. So the more you use this power to withdraw, this power emerges. Is it understandable, whatever I am saying? Yes, can you understand? So when you are using this power to withdraw, then you are able to, so meditation uses the power to withdraw, and whatever you use starts becoming active. And then what happens is that when that power gets activated, then you can use it in unfavorable situations. So suppose there is somebody shouting at you, or there is a very turbulent situation in your life in the physical context, then what you can do is you can withdraw your attention from that and sit in peace and also give that person or that situation vibrations of peace. And when you are able to do that in a turbulent situation or in the face of bad behavior, then what you are doing is you are turning the tables around, and you are actually able to turn that unfavorable into favorable. So, if you are able to withdraw your attention from an unfavorable situation or behavior, turn it within, draw power from Shiv Baba, and give peace and purity and the vibrations of love and happiness to that situation, then that situation or that person will also change. So Shiv Baba says that, but in order to use the power to withdraw in unfavorable situations, you need to practice the power to withdraw in yoga. So when you meditate, you are practicing how to go within, you're practicing to disconnect and reconnect, right? Disconnect from the external world and reconnect to Shiv Baba. And this activates the attention muscle, and then that muscle becomes active. And then you are able to use that flexible muscle to withdraw your attention from an unfavorable situation at your will whenever you like. Okay, so this is the power to withdraw. And then the second power is the power to pack up. And in this power to pack up, there is a suitcase. So there is a luggage that's packed. Okay, and you see, we hear this thing, everybody says travel light. Okay, so this life is also a journey, and it is necessary to travel light. And if you don't travel light, this life, this journey of life becomes very difficult. Now for that, you need a very small luggage all the time. Now just think about the luggage you are carrying, the luggage of memories. Yes? How many memories are you holding on to? And what is the quality of most of those memories? So mostly we are holding on to a lot of bitter memories, and they are all jamming our disk inside and they are not allowing us to think clearly, make good decisions, or see things as they are. And it's very necessary to lighten that baggage. So the more, so just like when you need to remove the darkness, you switch on the light. So as much as you remember Shiv Baba and draw in the love and light, then all that is bitter inside you, it starts getting replaced. And then you become very light from within. You become like this, that luggage of experiences and memories that you're carrying becomes very light and small. And if you ask me, I seldom, if you ask me, I don't remember any bitter memory anymore. So all those things that happen in life, they are all gone, dissolved, and I have not made any effort to forget them. But the more you fill your heart with experiences of this life with Baba, where every day Baba is giving you so many jewels of knowledge, so much love, so much, education, direction. So the more this goes in, the other thing goes out, and the other burden that you're carrying starts getting lighter and lighter. So this is the power to pack up, and this happens with Raj Yoga. And second thing, in this life as a BK, we are given a practice. That practice is called traffic control. What is traffic control? So in every hour, 1 minute, what do? You just check what you are carrying from the last hour in your awareness and ask whether this is necessary. So let's say you are carrying some complaint from what happened in the last hour, or some resentment, or some stress that you created while working in the last hour, but now that situation has changed. And then what you do is, whatever you created, because you see, we are in the field of action. So when we work, sometimes, we create stress, sometimes we create worries, sometimes we create some complaints, sometimes we don't like somebody's behavior, that there is an inner chatter that goes on about why this person does this. But then in every 1 hour, you take a minute and just check, okay, all of that happened, but then what am I carrying in my awareness? And then ask yourself, now that scene is gone and done with, so do I need to carry all that in my awareness still? And then drop it. Whatever you feel, you just create it in the moment, and then when you sit in sanity with yourself, with Baba, you feel that, okay, I just carried it because I was not in the right mind space. So just drop it. And from 1 hour to the other, when you move, travel light. And then while going to bed at night, before sleeping, again sit with Baba and draw in the light of knowledge, become peaceful, and then look at your whole day and think about what you're carrying from the whole day, and then just let go of that. So this is also called the power to let go. And if you keep doing this all through the day, take out a minute. So you could set alarms every hour, or there is an app also which we call the traffic control app, and when you put it, it goes off at a certain time. There are timings in that app, and a song plays automatically in those timings, and when those timings the song plays, then you could just leave everything and just go into this checking. And also, if you did that, it is a preparation to be packed up to go. Because when the time comes, you will not have the time to stop and think about whether I want to go or not. So if you just practice that, whenever the song goes off, then you have to withdraw your attention from whatever you're doing and go within and check that I'm ready to go, and whatever I'm carrying, do I have to carry this to the next second? So if you develop this practice, then in the end also, when the time comes, you will be ready in a second to go. So this is the power to pack up. Because you see, earlier people used to say that a human being's life is divided into 4 phases: Brahmacharya, Grihasth, Vanprasth and Sannyas. Yes, so they used to say that 25 years there is Balashram, so you study, create a career, and then there is Grihasth, you make a family, take care of your children, and then Vanprasth, you retire, and then you look for the truth, and then Sannyas, you go and live with sannyasis, okay. But then here we understand that these days there is no guarantee that anybody will live the next second. So here we have to do all the 4 ashrams together. So what you do is, for 1 hour, 55 minutes, you are in Grihasth and you are in Balashram and studying, and you are taking care of the family, and for 5 minutes, 1 minute you take out and become a sannyasi, that all this is here but I have to go back. So go with that awareness, check why are you carrying or thinking what you are thinking or carrying with yourself. So just let go of that, because until you go, you have to live, and when it's time to go, you have to just stop living, right? So that's why keep yourself in this state where you keep letting go, so that when it's time to go, you don't feel that it's very difficult to let go. So this is the power to pack up. And then there is the power to tolerate. And in this power to tolerate, the picture of a child is shown, and the child is taking a stone and throwing it at the tree, mango tree. And the mango tree is giving fruit to the child. So you can see fruits which are falling from the tree. So the child is the child is throwing a stone, but the tree is giving fruit. Why? Why is the tree not giving stones? Because the tree doesn't have stones. Yes, so the law says you give what you have. Yes, and sometimes we say that if somebody is rude to me, I will give it back to them because they are rude to me. But no, you give it back to them because you are also rude. There is not much difference between you and them. Yes, and this is why you see people say that we are giving what we are getting, but you are giving what you are getting because you are empty inside, or you also have the same things which other people have. But if you had something else, you would give something else, even if they gave you the same thing over and over again. So Shiv Baba says that through Raj Yoga, fill yourself with so much love, so much peace, so much happiness that you only give that. Whatever anybody gives doesn't matter, but you only give what you have. And you see, sometimes when people are talking loudly to us, we also raise our voice. But why? Is that your voice? That's not your voice. So you speak in your voice. However much anybody shouts, you shouldn't change your voice. You shouldn't change your behavior, because you should behave as you are and everybody will behave as they are. And let me tell you one thing, if you try to behave like everybody else is behaving, then A, you will lose yourself completely, and B, you will also attract the same destiny that other people are attracting through that behavior. So people want to copy other people's behaviors, but they don't want to copy other people's destinies, and that is not possible. So you want to take care of your destiny, be in charge of your destiny. You take care of your behavior, be in charge of your behavior. But this is possible only when you draw in virtues and powers from Shiv Baba, so that you be yourself, come what may. And then you see, this word, power to tolerate, this has taken a different connotation in the world. Because people think tolerating means bottling up your feelings. Yes, sehna. So people say, मैंने बहुत सहा, I've been tolerating. So they think that not reacting but bottling up your feelings is tolerating. But you see, bottling up cannot be tolerating, because if you bottle up, somehow or the other, those things are going to come out. Even if, so you know, it's like a pressure cooker. It keeps building the steam inside and then it blows. So one day you will blow. So one day either you will scream, shout, create a lot of drama, or you will have some disease or something through which that all bottled up emotions will come out. So there is no point bottling up. So power to tolerate doesn't mean that you feel bad, you feel bad and not speak about it. Power to tolerate means through Raj Yoga, you enable yourself so much that you don't feel bad. You feel as you are. Okay, so anyways, we think as we are, we feel as we are, because the mind is a product, is an organ of the soul. And the soul is peaceful, the soul is loveful, then how can the mind not be peaceful? So Shiv Baba says, tolerate doesn't mean what you think it means. Tolerate means you fill yourself, you become this tree full of fruits of virtues and powers, so that anybody throwing a stone doesn't matter to you. In my life, when somebody throws a stone, I only have one thought, they are giving what they have, doesn't matter. Yes, so if anybody is giving what they have, that's not your problem. You just focus on giving what you have. And if you are also giving the same thing, then that's your problem, because there is no difference between you and them. Okay, so this is the power to tolerate. And then there is the power to adjust. And in this power to adjust, there is the picture of so many rivers, streams coming and flowing into the ocean. And when all the streams come and fall into the ocean, then you see the ocean remains unaltered. The ocean doesn't think that, this is a dark stream flowing into me, this is a clear stream flowing into me, this is a stream coming from a long distance, this is not my area stream. So all kinds of streams, the ones with dirty water, the ones with clear water, the ones that come from a long distance, the ones that come from nearby, they all flow into the ocean. And then you see the ocean remains unaltered, because the ocean has two very good qualities. One is the ocean throws away that which is not, which it doesn't want to contain. So it just throws away some of the dirt. And then second, it is so huge that it can, it can adjust with everything, it can imbibe everything and stay unaltered. So Shiv Baba says, one thing you have to do, so you see, you need the power to adjust, because when you work in this life, when you are operating in this life, then you come in contact with many souls, and every soul is like a different stream. Yes, because they bring their own sanskars with themselves. So every soul is different, and every soul has very different sanskars. But how will you adjust with all these sanskars? So somebody speaks one language, somebody speaks another language, somebody is punctual, somebody is not punctual, somebody is lazy, somebody is active. And then all those sanskars are there. Somebody is hyperactive, and somebody doesn't speak at all, somebody speaks so loudly, somebody speaks very slowly. So these are all the different kinds of sanskars you have to deal with. And when you deal with all these sanskars, you need the quality of the ocean. And the quality of the ocean is, one, you only focus on the good sanskar of the soul. Okay? So who is the ocean? Shiv Baba. And what is Shiv Baba's quality? Shiv Baba never sees my shortcomings. Yes, if Shiv Baba saw my shortcomings, would he teach me? Would he teach me with so much love? No. So he only sees that I am a diamond, I am a sparkling diamond. So from where Shiv Baba sees me, I am very beautiful, very eligible of love and peace and knowledge. So just like Shiv Baba sees me, when I have yoga with Baba, I also become like Baba. And whenever I see anybody, I will also see the soul. And when I see the soul, then I will see that, okay, they might have this sanskar or that sanskar, but in essence, who are they? They are a pure, peaceful being of light. And then it would become very easy to connect with them, to adjust with them. And then second quality is, you become so big-hearted like the ocean that you can adjust with everything. Everybody's sanskars, they don't hurt you, they don't matter so much. So you have a big heart, you understand that this sanskar is a small thing. Sometimes when we constantly think about somebody's sanskar, that they do this, and this is very difficult to adjust with, and they are repeatedly doing this, so then it becomes a big deal. But if you always thought that this soul has so many good sanskars, okay, maybe they have one limitation or one avgun or one weak sanskar, and that is okay, then it would become very easy to adjust. Okay, and I will tell you one thing. So when I feel that I'm finding it difficult to adjust with somebody, then I make a list of what are the good qualities in that soul. And then when I make that list and focus on that list and remind myself of that every day, then adjusting with them is never a problem. I will give you one example. There was a brother, and he told me that my accountant doesn't know computers and he doesn't know how to do it on the machine. So he does all the calculation himself, and that is why I want to replace him. So I said, have you come to ask me for permission to replace your accountant? I am sure you have not come for that. So if you want to replace him, replace him. Why are you waiting? So he said, no, Didi, you see, but I am very confused because, in these times it is very necessary for somebody to learn computers, but I am not able to replace him. So I said, but why are you not able to replace him? Tell me of his good qualities. So he said, never in his life, in all the years he worked for me, he has never stolen a penny. And he is so honest, and he comes in time, goes in time, never takes a leave. So I said, then why do you think that adjusting with this one thing, that is doesn't know computers, is a big deal? Teach him. Spend some money, get him trained. And he said, okay. So I said, even if you have to sit and teach him, because he has regard for you, he will learn from you. So then he did that, and it took 6 months for him to learn how to do it on the system, but he could do it. So you see, even if somebody has one limitation or the other, don't focus on that. Focus on the good qualities, and that will happen when you focus on your good qualities in meditation every day. So when you do that, then you will have immense power to adjust. And then the fifth power is the power to discriminate or discern. You could call this the power to discern also. And in this picture, there is this jeweler who is separating stones and diamonds. So this is a jeweler, and this jeweler has the quality to separate, to discern which is a stone and which is a diamond. And I will tell you a story about this power to discern. So there was a king, and in his court he came one day, and he brought a bag, and in that bag there were diamonds and crystals mixed together, and they were identical. So the diamonds and the crystals looked the same. And then he said, in this court I have many ministers, and I would request them to separate the diamonds and crystals. And then everybody attempted, but they were so alike, they were identical copies, and everybody failed to separate them. And then there was a blind person who walked into that court, and the blind man said, I can do it. Please, you give that back to me. And the king said, all the people who could see couldn't do it, and then how do you think you can do it? So he said, just have faith on me and give that back to me. I'll bring it back in 3 hours, and I will separate them accurately. So then the king gave it to the blind person, and then when he went, after 3 hours he had separated them exactly. And then he was asked, how could you do it? So he said, these people couldn't do it because they could see. And in the appearance, these diamonds and crystals were the same. So that is why appearance was deceptive. But because I couldn't see, I was not confused. And I lay them under the sun. And then I touched and felt them. And those that became hot were the crystals, and those who didn't catch the heat, they were the diamonds. That is the quality of the diamond. So I separated them on account of their quality, not on their appearance. And these people, they tried to see the appearance, and so they were confused. So Shiv Baba says that when you every day see yourself as bodiless, and then you see Baba, the bodiless one, then you become free from body consciousness. And then you will be able to discern what has more value and what has less value. Because when there is body consciousness, then you are more interested in the appearance of everything rather than the quality of everything. For example, you see, when somebody is shouting at you, you feel they are bad. And when somebody is being nice to you, you feel they are good. But it is not so. When somebody is shouting, maybe they are just looking for your attention. But in order to discern that, you need to see beyond their words and behavior. In order to understand what is in somebody's heart, you need to understand what is in their, you need to look beyond their words and behavior. I will give you one example. Once there was one lady, and when she came, she was just trying to impress me, and she told all the good things about herself, and she was looking for so much of validation. And she was going on speaking about herself. And then I told her that you're very nice, and I understand that you have made a lot of effort in your life, and you are where you are because you deserve it. And then she cried, and then she said, I have had a very bad childhood, and I had not many people who I can trust and fall back on. So you see, sometimes the appearance looks like somebody is very arrogant or just bragging about themselves or trying to tell you that you are nothing and they are everything. But that's not how it appears to be. So they are speaking that to themselves, and they are trying to when you're seeking a lot of validation and recognition and appreciation, it's a sign that there's emptiness inside. And then instead of fighting with that behavior, if you just appreciated them a little, if instead of saying that you are bragging too much, if you just said, yes, that's true, and you really deserve all that you're getting, and you deserve the attention and appreciation, then they would feel that hunger for which they are striving so much will be quenched. But you need to look a little deeper. And when will you be able to look a little deeper? When you yourself are free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. Because when you see somebody's ego, your ego gets triggered, and then you, instead of looking deeper than their ego, you are yourself in ego, so you start fighting with their ego. But if you had fought your ego, won over it, then you would look deeper than their ego, because their ego would not make you uncomfortable. So this is why when you have Raj Yoga, and when Raj Yoga clears your inner space of all the vices, then just like when you clean the mirror, then the image it reflects will be accurate. But if the mirror is tainted, then the image the mirror reflects is usually tainted because the taint is on the mirror. Similarly, when you clear yourself of all the vices, you are able to discern what's there in the other person. Okay, so this is power to discern, and then power to judge. And then in this picture there is a weighing scale, and in this weighing scale you see the scales will be balanced when this this indicator shows right. Yes, this rod, or what you say, kanta in Hindi, this kanta is straight, then the scales weigh accurately. So what is this kanta symbolic of? This kanta is symbolic of free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So when this kata is the buddhi, and the buddhi, when the buddhi is free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then the buddhi takes good decisions. And if the buddhi is not free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then you know what is the right thing to do, but you will do the wrong thing. You will make a bad choice. For example, let's say lust. You see, the whole of history is replete with examples that the kings lost their kingdoms because of lust. So they couldn't discern that the one who is triggering their lust is actually an enemy. So under the influence of lust, you cannot discern who is an enemy and who is a friend. And then in the influence of anger, sometimes you know that you shouldn't speak this or you shouldn't behave like this, but then when you're angry you do that, and then it costs you because that decision you made in the moment was not good. And I remember there was this one brother, and he was working as a vice president in a company, and in that company his senior started giving direct directions to his junior. And the junior, he came and complained to him, and he said, why is he giving me direct directions? He should tell you and you should tell me. And that junior started crying, and this person got emotional, and then he went to his senior and he said, you give directions to me and I give directions to him. That is how it should work. And then the senior said, I've seen thousands like you, just get out from my room. And he was very rude, and then this person lost his control, and then he went to the chairperson and he said that do you take action against the senior? And then the chairperson said that it was just done in the heat of the moment. Why are you reacting so much? It's okay, we will give directions. And then he got so angry and he started saying, this is unfair, this is unfair. And then what he did is he resigned at that spur of the moment. And then he thought, I am the vice president, I'll get 20 jobs like this. And then for 1 year he didn't get any job. And in that 1 year he went into acute depression. And the junior for whom he fought, he stayed in that company. So now you see that you don't have to decide when the buddhi is not accurately working. It is said, do not promise when you are happy, do not decide when you are sad, and do not reply when you are angry. And there is a reason why it is said so, because when you are in these emotional states, then you are not able to discern what is accurate behavior, and then you make mistakes for which you repent later. So this is why this is the buddhi, the kata, and when the buddhi is not under the influence of vices, then it decides accurately and takes a good decision. Then you see there is the power to face, and in this picture there is a dead body shown, and you see that there are many events in life where you can't do anything. You just have to, face it, cross it. Deaths, accidents, financial losses, loss of loved ones. There you just have to take care that the show must go on and you don't lose yourself in the process. And this power to face is immensely developed through Raj Yoga, because you see, every day in the Murli you will hear that you are a soul and you're going to leave the body. And when you listen to that every day, then you know that these things are normal and natural. In our culture we say you only speak, good and nice. So there is a saying, hope for the best and be prepared for the worst. But these days what we have done is, we have left the be prepared for the worst. We are only hoping for the best. But you need this be prepared for the worst also, because there are many events in life which will happen, and especially in this Kali Yuga end, these things are more and more normal, and they are coming with greater, intensity and regularity. So you must have the power to face, and nothing should break your spirit. Everything will happen, but then you shouldn't lose yourself, your hope, your spirit in the face of anything. And that happens when you listen to the Murli every day. And from tomorrow we will start the Murli, and we will start Shiv Baba's teachings. This course is, this is just an introductory course, but your journey with Shiv Baba will really begin tomorrow. So when we listen to the Murli every day, we develop all these powers through Shiv Baba's teachings every day in the Murli. And then the final power is the power to cooperate. And in this picture, there is this big mountain or hill, and everybody is lending a finger to uplift that mountain. And you saw this is a black mountain. So this symbolizes Kali Yuga. And in the Shastras we say that God lifted one finger, and then everybody supported God's mission with one finger, and then the Govardhan Parvat was lifted. Now Govardhan Parvat is this Kali Yuga, and Shiv Baba says, I have come to lift this Kali Yuga and create Satyug, but I cannot do it alone. I need your cooperation of one finger. And when you solve all your problems with these powers, then you will become a right hand in Shiv Baba's task also, and cooperate in his task. And you see, one finger has three parts: body, mind and wealth. So Baba's task also needs body, mind and wealth. And every soul, every Baba's child, when they cooperate with their body, mind and wealth into this task that Shiv Baba is here for, then we will be able to lift this Kali Yugi mountain and bring Satyug, or the golden mountain, in place. Okay, so this is the power of, this is the understanding of 8 powers, and tomorrow we will meet for Murli. And before that, let's take a question. We come across so many incidents when person is getting tortured physically, mentally, emotionally at home and workplace. Where do we draw the line? Is it all our karma, or should we, when should we take action? So see, whenever you can take action, take action. Nobody is asking you to not take action. But if you look around, in most cases, no action is possible. Yes, and you tolerate only when you need this power to tolerate. You need this power to be peaceful come what may, be happy come what may, because you will be faced with situations where even if you want to take action, you can't. Because mostly these problems are coming from places where you have attachments. Yes, and that is why whenever you can take action, you must. Nobody is asking you not to take action. But mostly you are not in a position to take action. And that is why Shiv Baba comes and gives us these teachings and powers, because mostly the seed of our problems is where our attachments are, or our fears are. And where there is fear, there is attachment. Even if you want to take action, you can't. So that is why you first overcome your fear and attachment through Raj Yoga. And when you do that, then you don't need to take action. Everything will go away on its own. Yes, I will give you one example. There was one sister and she was being molested by her officer in office. I am telling you a very real life incident. And when she learnt Raj Yoga, her body language told the officer that he couldn't touch her. So it is you that has to change, and then everything will change around you. People are hurting people who are in attachment and in fear. Okay, in my influence, in the influence of my emotions, I behave rudely to someone after realizing I apologize 10 times, but they don't talk to me. For the past 1 year, they haven't talked to me. I regret myself from the past 1 year. I believe this is the biggest mistake of my life. So you have to understand that when you were under the influence of your emotions, you acted under their influence. Now they are also emotional, and you have to give them the time that they need. You cannot dictate that, because I am sorry, they should forgive me. No, it doesn't work like that. And what you have to do is have patience, and instead of having regret, every day send good wishes and pure love to that soul. And when you do that, then you will be able to change the energy exchange between you and them, and they will talk to you. But you don't decide when they will talk to you. Just wait. Even if they take 20 years to come around, you have to wait. Because you chose when to get emotional, let them choose when to stop getting emotional. Okay, Shanti. Let's thank Baba for some time. As I sit still and quiet, I can feel the loving embrace of my Baba's presence. I feel the ocean of peace embracing me with this light of peace. This canopy of peace all around me is creating an auric field. And I feel so embraced, so protected, so peaceful. inside this aura of white light. Wherever I go, my Baba is with me. I am always protected by this aura around me. This auric field is like a shield. And the vibrations of the world don't touch me. In every situation, I just feel the peace in my heart and around me. Just sit with these thoughts for some time.
शक्ति स्वरूपा तू ही तो है नव दुर्गा अष्ट शक्ति स्वरूपा तू है देवी स्वरूपा शक्ति स्वरूपा तू है शक्ति तुझ में बसी नौ निधि जगा ले तू ये स्मृति तू ही है शिव शक्ति जो जग से रहती है न्यारी वो आत्मा है सबकी प्यारी जो जग से रहती है न्यारी वो आत्मा है सबकी प्यारी जो न होती प्रभावित कहीं ये है संकीर्णता की शक्ति पुरानी बातों को जो मन से निकाले पुरानी बातों को जो मन से निकाले ना ईर्ष्या ना द्वेष को मन में पाले क्षमा के गुण से समेटे हर बात वो है समेटने की शक्ति तू ही है शिव शक्ति तू ही है शिव शक्ति भले निंदा या अपमान कोई करे जगत माता तुम उनको स्नेह करे तू ही तो है सहन शक्ति ग्लानि उदासी से तू है परे संभाले सभी के व्यवहार व्यवहार को संभाले सभी के व्यवहार को ऐसी अद्भुत समाने की शक्ति धरे तू शक्ति धरे तू है शक्ति जगा ले तू ये स्मृति शांत मन साक्षी दृष्टा न कोई प्रभाव न कोई दबाव परख शक्ति तेरा स्वभाव निर्णय करने की गजब तुझ में शक्ति सत्य असत्य को जान देती निष्कर्ष तू शक्ति महान चाहे कोई तूफान को भी तू तोहफा बनाए सामना करने की शक्ति जगाए हर कदम में सफलता तू पाए हर कदम में सफलता तू पाए तू है शक्ति जगा ले तू ये स्मृति तू शक्ति है जो सबको तारे जो भी अपने जीवन से हारे सहयोग की शक्ति जगा तू दुखियारे है तुमको पुकारे ये समय महापरिवर्तन का अष्ट शक्ति को भीतर जगा विकारों रूपी रावण को शिव शक्ति बन के जला तू ही है शक्ति स्वरूपा तू ही तो है नव दुर्गा अष्ट शक्ति स्वरूपा तू है देवी स्वरूपा शक्ति स्वरूपा तू है शक्ति तुझ में बसी नौ निधि जगा ले